what can you tell us about the introduction of the Justice Society of America this season?
I'll tell you absolutely nothing. I can tell you it's probably going to involve the biggest fight sequence that we've committed to film so far. It's two superhero teams battling it out. So we begin in a traditional comic book, way, which is we've got more than one superhero occupying space at any given time. They have to start fighting, and that's what happens. And it's pretty epic, and it's so much fun because we're really playing into the idea that the JSA, they're the world's first superhero team. They're comic book's first superhero team. They turn sharp corners. They do everything by the book. They're competent. They're practiced. They're professional. And then you have the Legends of Tomorrow, who are none of those things. And it's so much fun to play the contrast between the two.
Why do they always have to fight when all they have to do is just, talk to each other for a minute?
Because that's boring. You sound like my line producer. Why do they have to fight? Why can't they just talk? Why can't they just talk about it? Can't they do it on the set too? Like, do they have to talk on location?
So cheap. It's much cheaper.
Yeah.
Can you tease any of the roster they're going to be seeing? Because a lot of the main Justice Society come with huge baggage.
I know. Well, I can tell you it won't be Green Lantern, and the rest you'll have to wait for the panel to.
Do you have any... Okay, I'm going to follow up with the Green Lantern thing. Are there any restrictions on the second-tier characters that you can or cannot use? So can you use Green Lantern if you so choose?
No, not at the moment. But each, there's no sort of rule there's A level characters, there's B level characters, C level characters. You can use these ones from D and these ones from C and these ones from B. It doesn't work that way. Basically, the way it works is, we sit down and we talk out with DC, this is what we'd like to do, and they're like, well, these are the characters we think you can do, and we just, we discuss it.
And in a way, is it more freeing for you to work on, as you say, lesser known characters because it gives you more of a sandbox?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think with Arrow, we always felt because Green Arrow was not one of the Trinity. You could play around more with the nature of that character and the way he was depicted, and his origin story wasn't as set in stone as other people's. So yeah, it gives you freedom. And I think look, we've done so many more characters than I ever thought we ever would on these shows. It's insane. I have no complaints.
How are you managing it now? You've got Flash for Flash Point, it's going to have a ripple, we know it's going to have a ripple effect, and you've got all these shows sort of sitting side by side. Do you think of it as one big show, or are they very much four separate strands?
We are going to be doing our big mega crossover this year, and it'll be like the crossovers last year, but now with 3 shows instead of 2, and that feels like one big show. I think for us, it's we always try to create a balance between crossing over the shows so they all feel like one universe, but at the same time not doing it every week so that it does feel like 3 distinct shows.
How was the decision made to have Our Man be the character that kind of introduces that? Because there was talk of a TV series based around him.
I'll be honest, Jeff Johns and I were talking about, we wanted a member of the JSA to come down, and say, don't travel through time anymore. And Jeff said, what if it's Our Man and he says, I'm a member of the Justice Society of America? And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. That's sold. Because we were talking about a whole bunch of other characters, and we really weren't talking about the JSA. And it was Jeff who suggested JSA, and we were like, that's awesome.
Brandon was telling us that he feels that not having a central villain chase for the entire season has really released the show from certain restrictions, and now they can really go crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You feel the same way?
Oh, completely. I mean, look, I think, we sort of went into season 2 with the attitude that season 1 was good, it wasn't great. We were sort of we found our hands tied a lot by our own concept. the fact that you've got Vandal Savage for 16 episodes, you know that 15 of those episodes you can't catch him. You know, the nature of Rip's family dying at the beginning, through the saga cell at the beginning of every episode, is kind of a downer, and this show lives not in the light the way Flash does, but in the fun and the humor of this crazy group of people. It's sort of like really Guardians of the Galaxy, the TV show, with time travel, and you want to have fun. You don't want Rip to always be wringing his hands over his dead wife and son. So this year we were just sort of able to free ourselves up from all that, and it's great. We have a really cool big bad that we'll be announcing again at the panel.
We'll announce it now.
I know, but I can't say that.
You need to know.
But it's going to be it's going to be really cool. But it's a very different kind of dynamic than we had with Vandal, where it was like this one guy existing throughout time. It frees us up in a really terrific way.
There are a couple of new faces joining the team this year, but can you tell us about them?
Nick Zano plays Nate Haywood. He's a historian, so someone really kind of perfect for a time travel show, because he knows all the ins and outs of history, even those things that a lot of historians don't know, because he's kind of like we sort of say like he's like a time detective. His job is to like make deductions and figure things out about time that other people haven't realized. And then Maisie plays Amaya, who is the great-grandmother of Megalyn EK's character from Arrow and the Vixen series. She's going to be Vixen because she's got the totem that provides her the animal powers, and she's a former member of the Justice Society of America.
What do you expect from that dynamic coming into the team that's kind of pre-existing?
Well, it's that she's coming off the varsity squad. She's coming off the team that does everything right, and also with a 1940s sensibility. So she looks at Sarah's like, wow, you're open and out there as a bisexual, and she looks at Mick Rory and goes, wait a minute, what's an arsonist doing on this team of superheroes? That's not right. And she gets to play kind of the straight man to all these crazy kooks.
Isn't having a historian all the time, they're like not letting them fight and talking stuff out in that fight? Because the historian's going to be a wet blanket.
It's funny actually. I think in many ways Nate is the one who ends up. Nate's kind of the one who ends up saying the thing that causes the punches to start flying. What's great about Nate is he's got a heart of gold, but he doesn't know this world. He doesn't know from superheroes, so he sometimes does the wrong thing. Yeah, he's fallible.
What role will Mick be playing? Because it is him who apparently set this whole thing in motion.
Mick is Mick doesn't have any sense of responsibility. Oh, Rip or Mick? Mick doesn't have any sense of responsibility, so he doesn't care that he set anything in motion. He's all about being Mick, and as we say in the season premiere, he's not even quite sure what he's doing on the show. And what it is, the true answer is that he actually has an affection for all these other people that he won't admit to them or even to himself. For us, Rory's like one of our favorite characters to write for, simply because he's the comic relief. He's pure it, and that's a lot of fun for us.
And structurally, are you going to have more standalone episodes next year?
I think I think the nature of it's going to feel a lot more like Flash and Arrow in the sense that we do have a big bad, but you'll have more villain of the week, time caper of the week kind of episodes. It won't feel as serialized as it would be due to the lack of a Vandal Savage kind of storyline.
Okay. Cool.